Agents ask me all the time, look, I'm selling Medicare or I'm selling life insurance and I just want to sell nothing but annuities. That's all I want to do. I just want to help people protect their retirement. I don't want to deal with all this other smaller stuff. I just want to be a full-time annuity producer. And that's awesome. But it's not like you just get your license and you say, hey, guess what? I'm going to be full-time annuities and walk right into the business. It doesn't happen that way. At least I've never seen it happen that way. It takes a foundation. So if you are already learning or know about life insurance and Medicare and heart attack, stroke and cancer insurance and some of these basics, including long-term care insurance, you're going to be much better positioned to transition into the annuity space. And the reason why that is because if you have zero financial industry experience and you get an insurance license and you do your best interest contract training and all the other stuff that's required through your state and multiple states to sell annuities, and you don't know anything about anything else, and you say, okay, how do I sell annuities? It's going to be an uphill battle. You have to have some basics. And the reason that is because selling annuities is not like enrolling somebody into Medicare. It's not like telling somebody, hey, look, if you give an insurance company $50 a month and you die, they give you 15 grand. That's pretty straightforward. Annuities are not straightforward in that regard. There's a little bit more complexity with them. You're dealing with somebody's life savings, retirement assets. You've got to know some of these basics about insurance and financial planning, how the stock market works. But the good news is you don't have to get too overwhelmed with it. You don't need a financial services degree to be successful in the annuity space. You just have to know some basics. And so some of the basics I always recommend agents starting off with is understanding first, what is an annuity? You'd be surprised. I have so many agents that say, I want to get into the annuity space. I say, tell me what an annuity is. And they have absolutely no idea, or they explain it completely wrong. You want to know and understand what an annuity contract is, the history of annuities. Okay, you have to know those basics. The types of annuities, there's MIGAs, there's SPIAs, there's SDIAs, there's FIAs with income riders, there's variable annuities, there's a whole bunch of different types of varieties of annuities and how they're actually operate and structured. You need to know those fundamentals. And this is something that you need to do on your own time, your own accord, to learn this. Asking your upline or asking somebody at the IMO or FMO, MGA, BGA, wherever you're getting your contracts, it's not really their job to explain to you the basics. You need to take that time yourself. And my goodness, with ChatGPT, YouTube, all these other sources, I mean, goodness, we actually have tons of sources that are free online and a free weekly training call that anyone can sign up for. It's awesome. It's down in the little description below. You need to know these basics to help get you started in this career. Can you imagine sitting in front of somebody that you don't even know, and then they sit across from you, you're like, hey, you should buy this annuity. And they ask you, well, what is it? And you just sit there with deer in the headlights. Look, that's not going to be good for you, okay? You need to have a foundation. A part of expanding that foundation is understanding what the stock market is. What are CDs? What are money market accounts? What are bonds? Not that you are going to be advising people on which stocks to purchase unless you want to get securities license and become an actual financial advisor, but just knowing the basics of it so you can have a conversation. It will also help you understand and learn a little bit more about this industry and how it actually works. And the good news is that as you're learning about this, you may not think, how can reading about bonds actually help me become successful in the annuity space? Because you're going to learn how the industry works. You're going to learn the mechanisms, because guess who buys bonds? Insurance companies. You have to know these basics. In addition to that, which is, in my opinion, by far one of the most important things to learn about, Social Security. Why would I care about Social Security if I want to help people with annuities? Guess what Social Security is? That's why they call it your primary insurance amount. What's one of the things that most people need to have information about? Well, Medicare, also Social Security. There's not too many 40-year-olds buying annuities. I mean, given I've bought quite a few, but that's because I'm in the space. Generally speaking, most people are not going to be interested nor have the financial means to own an annuity until they're in their late 50s or early 60s or 70s and beyond. And the people that are in their 60s and 70s and late 50s, guess what? They're part of the baby boomer generation. They need to have answers to their questions regarding Social Security. What a better way to open the door. instead of, hey, look, knock, knock, I'm here to sell you an annuity, right? That's not going to work. But if you say, hey, guess what? I can help you maximize your Social Security benefit, answer all of your questions regarding Social Security. Now, once I get all that done and answered, I ask you a couple quick questions to see if it's going to be enough for you to survive in retirement. How easy is that? And that's how we've done it. It's how we've scaled out. We keep our lives as simple as possible, where we help people with Social Security or Medicare questions. And then we go from there and we say, hey, look, here are the gaps in Medicare. Here's some ways to fill them. And by the way, here's some gaps in Social Security and how ways to fill them. The gaps in Social Security is it's just not enough for people. I mean, think of it right now. How many people do you know that can actually fully retire and sail the world and spoil the grandkids and pay all their bills on their Social Security check? Very few, okay? You're gonna have to have another source of guaranteed income, another avenue of protecting retirement assets for the downtimes. Well, what provides that? Hello, annuities provide that. But how are you even supposed to fathom a conversation if you know absolutely nothing about Social Security or all the other things I mentioned? You have to do a little bit of legwork, all right? There's a reason why you can build a phenomenal lifestyle for yourself, become very successful, and make as much money as you want to, all by helping people protect their retirement. But you think it's going to come easy? Why do you think it is when you sell a Medicare supplement plan or an Advantage plan, or you sell a final expense policy, the commissions are so low? They're little, right? The reason why is because it's easy. Anybody can do it. Now, not everyone can sell a big giant annuity, and that's because it takes time to learn these things. I mean, there are people that go to college for years and years and years. I'm talking 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Okay, my future brother-in-law, he's gonna be going to college to be like this neurosurgeon, super smart guy. But my goodness, he's gonna be in school for nearly 2 decades to get there. Now, he'll make a ton of money when he gets out, but my goodness, that's a long time. With insurance, you could pick your nose and pee your pants and get a license. It's not that hard. It's a very low barrier of entry. Not to dog on our industry, but to get your insurance license is not that challenging, okay? But you have to take the time, the university time, to actually study, read, and research. You're not gonna just wake up one day and say, I'm gonna sell annuities, I'm gonna make $1 million a year, and I'll be hyper successful, and I'm not gonna do any type of research. I'm just gonna wing the whole thing. You'll just blow all your money on lead sources and all kinds of other fake people trying to sell you stuff until you get the foundation. So if I were you, what I would do, and this is what I have done, and I have a proven history of success by being in this business, nearly 15 years as of last month of doing this, is you have to sit down and start studying. What are annuities? What's the stock market? Get this whole foundation figured out for yourself, and you'll be way better positioned to sit down in front of somebody. Because the clients that you'll be meeting with, some of them, they might have $500,000 or $1 million or $5 million. You sit down with somebody with $5 million and you can't even tell them what a mutual fund is. How are you going to be successful? How are they going to trust you if you can't even understand some of the other outside sources of the financial industry, right? You have to know this stuff. I can't repeat it enough. I can't reiterate it enough. I'm like a broken record when I speak at conferences, everything. I always talk about this and very few take advantage of it. But that's how you become successful in this space. If you reach out to us and our team and you say, Roy, we want to join your team of the elite annuity producers and we want to just skyrocket our career, what do we need to do that? I would first say, okay, well, do you have your basic education done? If they don't have it, okay, well, then you're not going to be able to do it. It's like riding a bike. You can read everything you want to about riding a bike, but until you get on that bike and actually pedal and try it out yourself, you're never going to learn. So you have to learn these basic fundamentals and then go out there and start practicing and trying. And you're not going to be good in the beginning. None of us were, right? I was terrible in this business for many, many years until I slowly but surely kind of figured it out and pieced it together. And, it just took me a very long time, and because I didn't have somebody telling me all these things in the very beginning. So I'm trying to help you through my experience on these free resources. This is how you do it. And there's a huge shortage of annuity agents out there. You are much needed. The industry is aging, okay? There's not too many people doing what we're doing. And if you can just get the basics of it and try a little bit and you're a good person, you will become successful. You have to give it time, be very patient. A lot of people say, what's your time frame on success for the annuity space? I say, give it 2 to 3 years. If you work 100% dedicated, researching hours and hours every week, learning nonstop, and you go out there and you're actively marketing, you're actively putting yourself in front of the qualified prospects, yeah, you could probably have something viable within 2 to 3 years. But don't believe any of these fake stuff online when they say, oh yeah, I took this one magical course and I'm brand new and now I'm selling $10 million a year in annuity premium. That's not true. It doesn't happen. There is no get rich quick. But think of it this way. If you could start today, where will you be in 3 years? Imagine if you don't start today, where will you be in 3 years? Which outcome do you want more? Okay, take the time, research. There's nothing but free information out there. There's no excuses, okay? Hopefully this video helps you and you are going to start your career in the annuity space and help more people and also change your family's entire life. See you next time.